What's going on, good people? So I just got done having some discourse, kind of a little heated debate about a pretty sensitive topic that we do not talk about enough in everyday society. Okay, and I just got done talking with a guy that I ran into at the store, a real cool dude. But before I tell y'all what's going on, I'll just kind of let y'all know like what background and what space we're both coming from, right? So, like I said, we kind of had this debate, and he goes, well, I don't like living in America, and I don't like the systematic approach everything everybody uses, and it seems like at some point in America, you're either going to be a slave or a slave master, okay? And I said, okay, yes, that is true. But what would be your plan to like either stop that? Well, he goes, oh, well, I just want to move out the country. I want to be fully independent. I don't want to be able to depend on the internet or society, or I don't want to be sitting back trying to support big Fortune 500 companies when it's local companies, and I get the moral standpoint behind it, right? But as a citizen in 2020, as a taxpaying citizen in 2026, what can you do about that? Moving to another so okay, yes, the American dream. Yes, I do understand the American dream. It's a pipe dream. It's you know what I'm saying? It sells you all this freedom. It says if you get rich and you work hard, you know what I'm saying, you will get there. I do understand that. But you do understand there are third world countries out here, right? That don't have the resources we have. They don't have the capital gain that we have. They don't have the bargaining power, the leverage that our country has in order to keep the standards of our daily lives at an efficient rate, or even at a, at a constant rate. Some countries don't get the resources and shit that we get. The clothes that you wear on your back, the food that you eat, you know what I'm saying? Where do you think all this stuff comes from? And he goes, oh, well, we grow our own food, and we do this. I try to take my girl to the doctor. They tried to tell her that she got cancer, and we did a whole bunch of herbalistic stuff, and woo. I said, why you going to the doctor anyway? If you don't believe in it, right? That's my whole point. So I believe that, and I'm kind of just talking right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not really following any list or bullet point. I'm talking genuinely from my heart. I see the moral standpoint behind it and why you wouldn't want to be a slave or a slave master. Nobody wants to do that. But I told him it's up to the individual to become educated and aware of what's going on before they can even want change for themselves. Okay? He just keeps going on about, oh yeah, it's wrong. Like exploiting people is wrong. Making somebody work for 40 years is wrong. Why would I be a entrepreneur with my feet kicked up somewhere on a yacht somewhere while my crew and my guys are working, and they only getting $12 an hour while I'm making the most. I said, bro, you got to think about it. I said, okay, cool. Let me ask you this. We gotta take it back to the origins. If you're gonna do that, we gotta take it back to the origins, bro. I said, okay, cool. You the business owner, right? How did you start that business? Oh, well, I work. Okay, so by you working, I said, how long did you work to get that business? Oh, maybe it took me 10 years, maybe it took me 20 years. See, he kept trying to cut me off and kept trying to disprove the point that I was saying, which all I'm doing is asking you questions. So you disproving your own point. I'm asking you a question. So I said, how did you start? Oh, with the money that I saved up. How? Working, right? Okay, cool. So once again, this goes back to my point. It's up to the individual to say, hey, okay, enough is enough. I see if I keep doing this for the next 10 years, I'm gonna be at this point. Or if I keep doing this, I'm gonna be at another point. Or you gotta sit back and analyze your lifestyle, or the world will choose for you. Simple. Unfortunately, I wish the world was full of leaders that didn't follow each other, and everybody knew what to do, and everybody had to. But guess what? You simply don't. And I asked him a better question. I said, okay, cool. You think that being a business owner is quote unquote being a slave master because the business owner doesn't give the workers every, you know what I'm saying? That's just not how that works, man. Why? Because the business owner takes on more risk. They're paying more bills. You're taking on insurance. You're taking on whatever. If anything happens to that business, you gotta cover that cost. You gotta cover overhead. You gotta cover supply and demand. You gotta cover product loss. You gotta cover, man, bruh, it comes with up and downs. And guess who don't have to worry about that? The employees. If my business have to be closed down for a month, but I still need somebody to come in and clean the restaurant and stuff like that, you're gonna get paid, of course. But guess what you don't have to worry about? You don't have to worry about where that money is coming from because you're punching the clock. I have to worry about getting a PPP loan in order to pay my employees and making sure I'm able to pay that loan back off when we do get the business up and running. And I got to make sure that I'm not getting audited for it when tax time come and all this other stuff. That's what you don't have to worry about that as a employee. So that lack of work or extra work, or you know what I'm saying, the majority of people is not gonna take on, bro. So guess what? The majority of people is gonna be a slave because that's what you choose to do. So I asked him, I said, okay, so what's your end goal, man? Like, what, you gotta know what your end goal is in order to change your situation. And he goes, oh, well, by the time you reach the end goal, you're gonna be too old, or you're gonna be at a certain point to where, like, you can't, your circumstances are gonna control your quality of life. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, what if you end up in your 30s and you know how life go, and you married, but you end up getting divorced. Now your ex-wife got you on child support and all this other stuff. I said, man, you creating problems that you don't even have to create yet. Why do you have to get divorced? Why not stick together and work it out? You see what I'm saying? Like, in the Bible it says don't give up on your wife. But you sitting here trying to tell me what your moral standpoint is as to why you don't want to have a business. Because it's a systematic, I said, bro, it's a systematic approach behind it, because it's 7.8 billion people on the earth. Every situation is it's gonna have to be a systematic approach, bro. You see what I'm saying? So yes, I do believe in human exploitation, and I do believe in, workers and being in bad conditions. I do believe in, you know what I'm saying, some jobs make you work, but you have a fucking choice. You have a choice. I get it. You're going to be tired when you get off. I get it. You're going to want to go eat junk food, the bullshit that they put right by your job. You're going to want to go and do whatever because that feels good. It makes you feel good. You want to go smoke, or you want to go drink because you've been working all day and you feel like that's rewarding. Bro, you got to stop and be like, hey, I want better. I want change. I want this. I want that. You have to look within to get what you want. So being born in America and being stuck in a system, it don't change, man. You know what I'm saying? Control what you can't control, and the things that you can't control, you just gotta let it go, man. Accept it. So his whole dilemma behind it is that he want to change the entire world and the entire social economic system, and it's still gonna be a system no matter what way you put it, because in society, you need order in order to have production, in order to have funding, in order to have communities, you need a system, bro. You're not going to be able to pick cherry pick everybody's little situation when everybody got shit to get done. Not how that work, bro. Not how it work. And I see what you're saying. It's just not enough space on the earth for everybody to have that want to be an influencer or to want to be. I don't know, man. I don't know. Everybody can't be no influencer. Everybody ain't gonna be no leader. Everybody, so you kind of are conformed to your circumstances, but you can always change them if you have the mindset to change it. If you don't have the mindset to change it, you don't deserve it. You don't need it. That's not how that works, man. Simple. And he goes, oh, well, we was put in school, so they groomed us and trained us and raised us and did all this to the point where they hid information from us from so many years and I said, man, you gotta, okay. You keep on trying to like blame you want somebody to blame for this shit. Like, and I had to realize what are we even arguing about? Is it about being able to change your circumstances and not working 40 years? Or is it finding somebody to blame and being mad about something that you really can't change? My whole standpoint is roll with the fucking punches, pull your bootstraps up. If you want more, if you want better, if you deserve more, if you have the mindset to go after that or whatever, if you have the mindset to, man, take care of your circumstances and still get up out of it, then you deserve to do that. You deserve to be able to do that. For the people that man, fuck them kids, fuck my mama, fuck that, I'm finna go do me and I'm finna go figure it out. I don't respect that. I don't respect that. I ain't gonna cap to you. You don't deserve shit. Because you can't just say fuck it. You can't just say fuck it, bro. I don't care. But if you have the mindset to change your circumstances, change the lives of the people around you, I mean, because people have done it. They stop complaining. You don't have racism no more. You don't have, you know what I'm saying? So we just gotta move forward, bro. You gotta think forward thinking, man. Like, it's just, that's life. That's life. So I don't know. I just thought that was kind of interesting. We had some discourse about that, and we kind of came back to a central ground at the same point. I'm like, look, man, I get where you're coming from. I wish I can have it my own way. I wish the world wasn't so big to where it wasn't a whole bunch of slaves and, you know, people who can't think for themselves. But guess what? They can't think for themselves, so they're gonna run to the next person. They're gonna run to the master. They're gonna run to the master. They don't know what else to do. They want to depend on somebody. They want to depend on somebody. They don't want to be independent. So what do you do with people that don't want to be independent? Like, everybody is not everybody don't think the same way you do, bro. Everybody is not capable or able to take care of themselves and the people around them. Like, some people just gonna be able to exist. That's why you have jobs, bro. At least they're able to do something and contribute to something and make a living and other than that, these folks will get out here and crash and fucking burn. You gonna get out here and fucking sink or swim. You gonna get out here and be ate or eat. You see what I'm saying? Like, everybody don't have that. So you can look at it as slavery, or you can look at it as, man, being able to change our circumstances, man. I don't know. That's. I just wanted to put y'all on. I know I was kind of all over the place with that, but my whole point is just to pull your bootstraps up. If you're going different, go for it, man. You got to change that, and you have to do the work. Nobody's going to do that work for you. Nobody's going to put you on that either. Nobody's going to hold your hand and be like, you know what, you ain't supposed to be working for 40 years, you know. What you think your boss going to come to you and be like, oh, you know, we know you've been working for 40 years, and we're trying to see if did you know you can, you know, move up or no, what the fuck? You either want it or you don't. Y'all keep trying to live by the rules, bro. You gonna be a victim of your circumstances, bro. And I'm not saying say fuck your dad, say fuck your mom and all this stuff like that. You have to still check in and still be a part of life and be a part of the society and be a part of your family. You still have to be a little brother. You still got to be a dad if you're a dad. You still got to be a mom if you're a mom, right? You can't just let that go. You go to jail for shit like that. What I'm saying is, exploit the legal ways to get up out of it, because there are. Y'all not taking advantage of y'all help. Y'all not taking advantage of the sort or the resources around you. You're not taking advantage. You letting this fear shit that's pushed out in the society scare you. You let one bill collector, they said they're gonna send this to collections and my credit report is gonna go down. Bro, it's a fucking number. It's a fucking number. Let the fucking shit go down. It's gonna go back up. Pay your bills. And guess what? The shit fucking, it deletes and restarts every 7 years. Fuck a credit score. I won't live in fear. Don't live in fear. That's how you do that. That's how you get out of the 9-to-5 rat race. That's how you do that. Okay? Think different. Stop thinking traditionally. If you seen your whole family struggle and be poor trying to be fucking teachers, why the fuck would you be a teacher? Why the fuck would you want to be a teacher? Unless you truly have a serious passion for it and your moral for living is fucking teaching, then get the fuck out of the system that's fucking you. Oh, he goes, well, some people don't have the mindset to even see that they're being fucked. Bro, penetration is penetration. What the fuck you mean? If you don't have the mindset to want to get out of something that you're quote unquote stuck in, then are you stuck? It's like saying a deer hops over a fence and they didn't clear it all the way, but they don't know they're stuck on the fence. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Somebody talk to me in the comments, man. And like, comment, share, and we're gonna have more talks like this. I do feel like it is up to the individual to pull themselves out of their situation, pull up your bootstraps. Yes, I get the rat race is a very real fucking thing. And for a lot of our parents and grandparents, that was their whole life, working. So guess what your grandparents and parents gonna say? Oh, don't quit that job, baby. Don't walk out that job, baby. You need to keep that job. You need to do this and that. You scared to take a risk because of what your folks been telling you. Fear. You've been pushed fear your entire life. Now you scared to take a chance. Now you scared to take a risk. Now you don't want to move. Now you fucking paralyzed. You mentally paralyzed. You're physically paralyzed. You don't want to do shit because you're scared. You're comfortable. That ain't new to me. I ain't used to that. I ain't woo. That's why you think you control everything around you, because you ain't really seeing shit out here. You really ain't. Bro, I ain't gonna care to you, man. It's SpckenWord Patt. I'm getting ready to sign out because this video is, man, life, man, life is what you make it. That's all I'm gonna say. Man, I hope y'all having a great day. God bless you. God be with you. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Please share this video with a friend. Boy, slice. SpckenWord Patt signing out.